They will fall in their own pit. Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of revealing truth, doesn't it? We've all faced moments when the odds seemed stacked against us, when whispers of doubt surrounded us, when others dug pits of betrayal, envy, and malice, hoping we'd stumble and fall. But let me tell you something. Those who dig pits for others often forget one crucial truth. Gravity doesn't discriminate. The very hole they dig, the very trap they set, becomes their own undoing. We are here today to talk about resilience, justice, and the undeniable power of purpose. Because while they're busy plotting your downfall, you're busy rising higher. While they're consumed by schemes, you're driven by faith, integrity, and an unshakable belief that no one can bury what was meant to bloom. So I ask you, when the world pushes you toward the edge of that pit, will you crumble or will you stand tall, knowing that every step you take is guided by truth and every obstacle is just a stepping stone to the heights you're destined to reach? Today, let's talk about how we rise above, how we trust the process, and how we stay on the path of light, even when shadows try to pull us down. Let's talk about why they will fall in their own pit. The power of resilience. Resilience is the invisible armor that shields us from life's fiercest battles. It's not something you see on the surface, but it's felt deep within. The quiet determination to get back up every time life knocks you down. Resilience is what separates those who fall and stay down from those who rise, dust themselves off, and march forward with purpose. When people set traps for you, when they dig pits hoping you'll stumble, resilience is what keeps you steady. It's what whispers, keep walking, don't look back. Because here's the truth. Their pit isn't your destination. It's just a distraction, a momentary obstacle designed to test your resolve. But the resilient spirit knows that setbacks aren't the end. They're the proving ground for strength. Think about it. No great story, no great victory was ever achieved without hardship. The greatest leaders, visionaries, and achievers in history didn't rise to greatness on a smooth path. They were betrayed, doubted, and undermined. But instead of letting the negativity pull them down, they built their resilience. They learned to navigate the challenges, using every failure as fuel, every rejection as redirection, and every pit as a reminder that their purpose was greater than their pain. Resilience isn't just about enduring, it's about transforming. When someone throws dirt at you, you can let it bury you, or you can use it to plant seeds for your future. When they try to push you into a pit, you can let the fall break you, or you can use the climb out to build the muscles you'll need to reach your next level. Resilience is about turning the very things meant to destroy you into the stepping stones for your success. Resilience is about turning the very things meant to destroy you into the stepping stones for your success. But here's the thing about resilience. It's not easy. It requires effort, discipline, and a deep sense of self-belief. You have to train your mind to see beyond the immediate hurt, to recognize that even in the darkest moments, there's light waiting on the other side. You have to remind yourself that no one, not the people digging pits, not the circumstances stacked against you, has the power to define your story unless you let them. And resilience isn't just about surviving the pits others dig for you, it's about thriving despite them. It's about understanding that life is full of tests and trials, but these challenges aren't meant to destroy you, they're meant to prepare you. Every pit you face is an opportunity to build character, to grow stronger, to prove to yourself and the world that you are unshakable. The world might not celebrate resilience the way it celebrates success, but make no mistake, resilience is the foundation of every success. It's the quiet work done in the shadows, the inner battles fought and won when no one is watching. It's the decision to keep going when quitting feels easier. And it's the faith that no matter how deep the pit may seem, there is a way out. and you have what it takes to find it. To those who dig pits hoping to see you fall, let them dig. Let them spend their energy plotting while you spend yours building, because here's what they don't realize. The resilient are unstoppable. You may stumble, you may even fall momentarily, but you won't stay down. You'll rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Rats. So when life challenges you, when people scheme against you, and when the road feels impossibly hard, remember this. You have a choice. You can let the pits define you, or you can let your resilience refine you. You can stay down, or you can rise, and prove that no pit is deep enough to hold someone who refuses to give up. So when life challenges you, when life takes away your vision, or you feel that your hopes are down, or you refuse to give up, resilience isn't just surviving the fall. It's about soaring beyond it. And when you do, those who tried to bury you will be left to watch as you rise to heights they never imagined. Keep moving forward. Stay resilient. The pit is not your story. Your rise is. The boomerang effect of evil. There's an old saying, what goes around comes around. Life has a way of balancing the scales, and those who act out of envy, greed, or malice often find their actions returning to them in ways they least expect. This is the boomerang effect of evil, the undeniable truth that when you throw negativity into the world, it has a way of circling back to where it came from. When people dig pits for others, they may think they're clever, that their plans are foolproof. They whisper in dark corners, plot behind closed doors, and scheme, all in the hope of seeing someone else fail. But what they fail to understand is that their actions set into motion forces beyond their control. Like a boomerang, every malicious act they throw out carries an energy that must return. And when it does, it hits with greater force and precision than they ever imagined. Why does this happen? Because the universe, or whatever guiding principle you believe in, operates on the law of cause and effect. You cannot plant seeds of harm and expect to reap a harvest of peace. You cannot sow discord and expect harmony in your life. Every action, every word, every intention carries weight. And when that weight is rooted in evil, it inevitably becomes too heavy for its creator to bear. Consider the story of those who built their lives on deception or betrayal. At first, it may seem like they're succeeding. They might even enjoy a fleeting sense of victory. But look closely, and you'll see the cracks in their foundation. Their success is hollow, their peace disturbed, because no one can truly thrive while standing on the backs of others. Eventually, the very pit they dug becomes the sinkhole that swallows them. Eventually, the very pit they dug becomes the sinkhole that swallows them. This isn't just a poetic idea, it's reality. History is full of examples of people whose plots backfired. Tyrants who fell victim to their own schemes, betrayers who were betrayed, and deceivers who found themselves caught in their own web of lies. It's a pattern that repeats over and over because the energy you put out into the world has a way of finding its way back to you. But let's be clear. The boomerang effect of evil doesn't require you to act as an avenger. It's not your job to retaliate or seek revenge against those who wrong you. That's the beauty of this principle. It operates independently of your involvement. Your role is to stay focused on your path, to keep moving forward in integrity and purpose. Let them dig their pits, let them throw their stones, and let them plot their schemes. In the end, their actions will be their own undoing. This doesn't mean you should rejoice in their downfall. True strength lies in rising above, in refusing to let their negativity define your journey. Instead, use their actions as lessons. Understand that when people act out of malice, it says more about them than it does about you. Their choices are a reflection of their own struggles, insecurities, and fears. Humble people look for how the lessons they learn can alter their lives. They prosper, flourish, and fierce. And while they may try to project those onto you, you have the power to rise above, to stand tall, and to let their negativity pass you by like a shadow in the night. So, what do you do when someone tries to harm you? You rise. You rise in character, in resilience, and in faith that their pit is not your destination. Trust in the process, knowing that justice, whether divine or natural, will take its course. Those who throw negativity into the world will eventually be forced to face it themselves, because that's how life works. And here's the most powerful part of this truth. When you choose to focus on growth and goodness, you make yourself untouchable. No matter how deep the pit they dig, no matter how sharp the arrows they throw, you remain unshaken. Their evil bounces back to them, and you continue to rise, untouched and unstoppable. Remember this: you don't need to retaliate or fight battles that aren't yours to fight. Keep your heart pure, your intentions noble, and your focus forward. Let the boomerang effect take care of the rest. Because in the end, those who dig pits out of malice will find themselves standing in the very hole they created, wondering why they fell. And you'll be walking toward your purpose, leaving their shadows far behind, rising above the pit. When people dig pits to see you fall, they aren't just testing your strength. They're testing your spirit. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity, to feel the pull of anger, frustration, or even vengeance. But rising above the pit is about more than just avoiding the fall. It's about refusing to let their actions define you. It's about staying focused on your purpose, your values, and the heights you're destined to reach. Rising above doesn't mean ignoring the challenges. Let's be real. When someone sets a trap for you, it hurts. It's betrayal, it's injustice, and it's unfair. But life isn't about fairness. It's about resilience. The way you respond to those challenges defines who you are. Do you let the pit consume you, or do you rise with strength, wisdom, and grace? The first step in rising above is understanding that the pit isn't permanent. It may feel deep, dark, and inescapable, but it's not your final destination. Too often, we allow temporary setbacks to become permanent mindsets. We get stuck in the hurt, the anger, or the fear, and we start to believe that we'll never climb out. But the truth is, every pit has an exit, if you're willing to find it. Sometimes, rising above means shifting your perspective. The pit they dug for you might not be a punishment. It might be a stepping stone. It might be the very thing that forces you to grow, to dig deep, and to discover strength you didn't know you had. The climb out of the pit isn't easy, but it builds the muscles you'll need for the journey ahead. It's in the struggle that we find our power. But rising above isn't just about survival. It's about thriving. It's about refusing to stoop to their level. When someone tries to pull you down, the easiest thing to do is to pull them down with you. But what do you gain from that? Nothing. True strength comes from taking the higher road, from staying true to your values even when others abandon theirs. It's about choosing grace over pettiness, purpose over revenge, and light over darkness. Rising above also requires forgiveness, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness doesn't mean you condone their actions or forget what they did. It means you release yourself from the burden of carrying their negativity. Holding on to anger or resentment only ties you to the pit they created. But when you forgive, you free yourself. You let go of the weight that's holding you down and make room for growth, peace, and progress. Another key to rising above is staying focused on your goals. The people who dig pits are often trying to distract you, to pull you off course. They want you to waste your energy on their games instead of using it to move forward. Don't give them that power. Keep your eyes on your vision, your dreams, and your purpose. The best way to rise above is to succeed despite their efforts. Let your achievements speak louder than their schemes. It's also important to surround yourself with the right people. Rising above doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Lean on those who support you, who believe in you, and who lift you up when you're feeling low. True friends, mentors, and allies will remind you of your worth, your strength, and your ability to overcome any obstacle. Finally, trust that justice will come. It might not happen on your timeline or in the way you expect, but those who dig pits for others will eventually face the consequences of their actions. Your job isn't to fight their battles. It's to keep rising, to keep growing, and to keep moving forward. Rising above the pit is a choice. It's a decision to be better, not bitter. It's a commitment to yourself and your future. So when life pushes you toward the edge of that pit, remember who you are. Remember that no pit is deep enough to hold someone who refuses to stay down. Rise with strength. Rise with purpose. Rise with the confidence that the best is yet to come. Rise with the confidence that the best is yet to come. Faith in justice. Faith in justice is one of the most powerful anchors a person can hold on to in a world often filled with betrayal, injustice, and malice. When someone digs a pit for you, it can feel like the system of fairness and morality is broken, that wrongdoers thrive while those who walk the righteous path suffer. But the truth is, justice, whether divine, natural, or karmic, has a way of working itself out, even when it seems delayed. It's a principle woven into the fabric of existence. Actions have consequences, and seeds planted in malice will ultimately yield a bitter harvest. Having faith in justice doesn't mean being blind to the challenges you face or ignoring the harm others cause. It means trusting that there is a balance in life, that the forces of good and truth prevail over time. It requires patience, perspective, and a deep belief that the pits others dig for you are not the end of your story. They are simply a chapter, a test of your resolve, and a stepping stone to greater strength. The invisible hand of justice. Justice often operates in ways we cannot see or understand immediately. When someone wrongs you, the instinct is to demand immediate retribution, to see their actions punished in the moment. But justice isn't always instant. It unfolds in its own time and way. Just like a seed takes time to grow into a tree, the consequences of actions, both good and bad, take time to manifest. When justice often takes protections with justice, I see it first fade out with realms of... Think of the boomerang effect. When someone throws negativity into the world, it circles back to them, often in ways they least expect. They may seem to thrive temporarily, but their foundations are built on dishonesty, envy, and harm. Eventually, those foundations crumble because they lack the integrity to sustain them. On the other hand, those who act with kindness, integrity, and faith build something lasting, something unshakable. This is why faith in justice is so vital. It's not just about believing that wrongdoers will face consequences. It's about understanding that your own actions, choices, and mindset shape your path. When you remain steadfast in integrity, you align yourself with the forces that ultimately bring balance and fairness. The role of patience. Faith in justice demands patience. It's not easy to wait when you feel wronged, when you see others seemingly prosper from their malice. But patience is not passive. It's an active, powerful choice. It's the decision to keep walking your path, even when the road is hard, trusting that the truth will prevail. 1. In many ways, patience is a test of your character. It asks you to focus on what you can control, your reactions, your choices, and your growth, while letting go of the things you cannot control. You can't force someone to face the consequences of their actions, but you can choose how you respond to their behavior. You can choose to rise above, to continue forward, and to let justice take its course. Justice in different forms. Justice doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes it's subtle, and sometimes it's dramatic, but it always finds its way. For those who dig pits for others, their justice often comes in the form of self-inflicted wounds. The negativity they project outward eats away at them from the inside. Their lives become consumed by the very energy they tried to unleash on others. For others, justice comes through the triumph of the wronged. When you continue to rise, to succeed, and to walk in integrity despite their efforts to bring you down, you become a living testament to the power of good over evil. Your success, your peace, and your resilience are justice in action. Sometimes justice is delayed because it's teaching you something valuable. It's in the waiting, the enduring, and the overcoming that you grow stronger. The process shapes you into someone who not only survives, but thrives. This is a form of justice too, a transformation that turns the harm intended for you into fuel for your growth. The role of faith. Faith in justice isn't just about believing in external consequences for others. It's about believing in the bigger picture of your own journey. Faith gives you the strength to keep moving forward when the road gets tough. It reminds you that there's a purpose to your struggles, a reason for the challenges you face. Faith isn't naive optimism. It's grounded confidence that your actions, rooted in truth and integrity, will lead to a positive outcome. It's the belief that every pit you encounter is an opportunity to rise higher, that every setback is a setup for something greater. Faith isn't naive. Faith isn't a release for chaos. Faith is a setup for something greater. Having faith in justice doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means you act with wisdom, perseverance, and clarity. You make decisions that align with your values even when it's hard, even when others are trying to pull you down. Faith is the fuel that keeps you going, the light that guides you through the darkest moments. Rising with grace. When you trust in justice, you free yourself from the burden of revenge. You don't need to waste energy plotting against those who plot against you. You don't need to dig your own pits to retaliate. Instead, you focus on your own growth, your own goals, and your own peace. Rising with grace means letting go of the need to see others punished. It means trusting that their actions will catch up to them in due time. Your energy is better spent building, growing, and becoming the person you're meant to be. Let their negativity be their own downfall. You don't need to carry it with you. Your rise is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. It's about showing that integrity, resilience, and faith are stronger than any scheme or pit. Faith transforms the journey. Ultimately, faith in justice transforms how you experience life's challenges. It gives you peace in the midst of turmoil, strength in the face of adversity, and hope when the road seems impossible. It reminds you that you're not defined by the pits others dig for you. You're defined by how you rise above them. Faith in justice isn't just about believing in fairness. It's about believing in yourself, your journey, and your purpose. It's about knowing that no pit is deep enough to hold someone who refuses to stay down. Justice is not just what happens to others. It's what happens within you when you choose to rise, to grow, and to keep moving forward. So when life tests you, when people dig pits hoping to see you fall, remember this: justice is coming. Trust the process, keep walking your path, and let your rise be the answer to their schemes. Your journey is proof that no one can bury what was meant to soar. Faith and justice will guide you, strengthen you, and carry you to heights they never imagined. Keep the faith and keep rising. transforming pits into stepping stones. Life will throw challenges at you. People will dig pits in your path, hoping you'll fall, falter, and fail. It's an inevitable part of the journey, especially when you aim high and strive to become the best version of yourself. But here's the truth. Those pits are not your endpoint, they're opportunities. What others mean as traps, you can transform into stepping stones. The choice is yours to either remain in the pit or use it to rise higher than ever before. The power of perspective. The first step in transforming pits into stepping stones lies in how you perceive them. It's easy to see challenges, betrayals, or setbacks as insurmountable obstacles. But the reality is, your perspective shapes your reality. A pit can be a place of despair or a place of growth. It depends on how you choose to see it. When someone digs a pit for you, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every hardship holds a lesson, every setback a hidden opportunity. Maybe it's teaching you patience, resilience, or the importance of trusting the right people. Maybe it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, forcing you to develop new skills or adopt a new mindset. Whatever the lesson, embracing it allows you to turn a painful experience into a powerful transformation. It's not about denying the pain or pretending the pit doesn't exist. It's about choosing to see the bigger picture. The pit isn't the end of your story. It's a part of it. And like every great story, it's the struggles and the climb that make the triumph worthwhile. Turning adversity into strength. Pits test your strength, but they also build it. When you're in the pit, it might feel like the walls are closing in, like there's no way out. But every time you face adversity, you're given a choice: to let it break you or to let it make you stronger. Think about the greatest successes in history. Behind every victory is a story of struggle, failure, and perseverance. The people who rise to greatness aren't those who avoid pits, but those who climb out of them, stronger and wiser. They don't let their circumstances define them. They use their circumstances to redefine what's possible. Adversity forces you to dig deep, to tap into strength you didn't know you had. It teaches you to adapt, to innovate, and to persevere. And every time you climb out of a pit, you're not just overcoming a challenge, you're becoming a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Using the pit as a catalyst. Pits have a way of shaking things up. They disrupt your plans, challenge your expectations, and force you to confront the unexpected. But disruption isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes, it's exactly what you need to grow. When you find yourself in a pit, ask yourself, how can this experience propel me forward? Maybe the pit is pushing you to reevaluate your priorities, to let go of what's no longer serving you, or to take a path you hadn't considered before. Maybe it's showing you that you're capable of more than you thought, that you can overcome obstacles you once believed were impossible. The pit can be a catalyst for change, for growth, and for transformation, if you let it. It's not about avoiding the fall. It's about rising stronger because of it. Building a ladder out of the pit. Transforming pits into stepping stones requires action. It's not enough to hope for change or wait for someone to pull you out. You have to build your own ladder, step by step. Acknowledge the situation. The first step is to face the reality of where you are. Denying the pit or pretending it doesn't exist only prolongs the struggle. Acknowledge the challenge, accept your feelings, and prepare to take action. Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem, shift your focus to what you can do to overcome it. What resources do you have? What steps can you take? Even small actions can create momentum and help you climb out. Learn from the experience. Every pit holds a lesson. Reflect on what led you there, what you can do differently, and how you can grow from the experience. Use the lessons as tools to build your ladder. Stay resilient. The climb out of the pit won't be easy. It will test your patience, your perseverance, and your faith. But resilience is what turns setbacks into comebacks. Keep pushing forward, even when progress feels slow. Leverage the pit. Once you've climbed out, don't leave the pit behind without taking something valuable from it. Use the experience as fuel to propel you forward. Let it remind you of your strength, your growth, and your ability to overcome anything. Rising above the schemes of others. When someone digs a pit for you, it says more about them than it does about you. Their actions stem from their own insecurities, fears, or jealousy. But you don't have to let their negativity define your journey. Instead of focusing on their intentions, focus on your response. Choose to rise above their schemes, to stay true to your values, and to keep moving forward. Let their pit be a reminder of your strength and a catalyst for your growth. Ultimately, this is all good. Inspiring others with your climb. When you transform a pit into a stepping stone, you're not just changing your own story, you're inspiring others. Your climb shows those around you that it's possible to overcome challenges, to turn pain into power, and to rise above negativity. Your story becomes a beacon of hope, a reminder that no pit is too deep, no obstacle too great. And as you rise, you lift others with you, showing them that they too can overcome their struggles and reach for greater heights. Turning the tables. The ultimate transformation is turning the pit into an advantage, not just for yourself, but as a way to prove that no one can hold you back. Every step you take out of the pit is a step closer to success, and success is the greatest answer to anyone who doubted you. Their pit becomes your platform, their schemes your stepping stones. And when you rise, it's not out of spite or revenge. It's out of a determination to fulfill your purpose, to live a life of meaning and impact. The bigger picture. At the heart of transforming pits into stepping stones is the understanding that every challenge has a purpose. The pits you encounter aren't random. They're part of a bigger plan to shape you into the person you're meant to be. In fact, when you choose to rise, to grow, and to keep moving forward, you're aligning yourself with that purpose. You're turning adversity into opportunity, pain into power, and pits into stepping stones. As you move forward, you make mistakes, but push even harder to achieve your greater purpose. As you become more than your circumstances, this is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. So the next time you find yourself staring into the depths of a pit, remember this. The pit is not your end. It's the beginning of your rise. Step by step, you can climb out, grow stronger, and reach heights you never imagined. The pit they dug for you can become the platform from which you soar. Keep climbing, keep believing, and keep transforming every challenge into a stepping stone to greatness. Transforming every challenge into a stepping stone to greatness.